What is up, reefers? Just like Groundhog Days, we're once again in Pennsylvania. This is the exact same charger every single time we go to a road trip to Canada or just somewhere in PA. We are heading over to Toronto once again. We love the food in Toronto. My wife has been pushing for a move to Toronto. We'll see how things goes in the future. While in Canada this time, we want to make it a point to at least visit one local fish store. So we'll see if we can make it happen. Always wondered who buy these things at the gas station for like $6. Apparently, I do.
6 feet. My headspace been weaker, it's been waiting for the right day. Like the right day ever comes, now it's Friday. And nothing's changed. Mistakes that everyone is making, but I can't change. I'm stuck in reverse like an old Benz. Forgot to tap it up. Now I long for another day where things fall into place. So if you're down, I'll be down. Pack your bags, fill them up. We can go tonight, take a flight to a higher ground. How does that sound? How does that sound?
The next day.
This is actually the very first local fish store that I check out in Canada.
Oh, that's awesome.
Marine-wise, yeah. And this
Very happy you guys came.
first impression is just absolutely clean, and I am bombarded by the different color and variety. I was surprised. The store itself is not big, but it's packed to the brim. Maybe we'll start from the fish first. Usually I talk about corals first. Let's take a quick look at fish. Look at all these liontails. My goodness. Nice hippo tang, look at the hang options. Being promised, that's one of the fish I'm trying to get. Maybe we'll swap out the hippo tang for a small show of promise. And of course, we got Leon right here. Lots of yellow Coral Reef Wrasse, just lots of fish selections. All these. Which one's your favorite? Look at that. Ribbon Eels. And are those saltwater mollies feeders?
Yes.
Okay, but you do have those available too.
We have those available. We're starting them off, just to give you an idea, we started off with a dozen yesterday.
Oh.
And that's what's left. So overnight, they were pretty hungry.
That's actually, well, sorry for the mollies, but
That's okay.
That's good to see for the Ribbon Eels.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
tend hope to get feeding, right?
Yeah, exactly. But over time, we do get them feeding. We usually get them hand fed usually, or with a little bit of fishing wire or something like, or tongs.
Oh, look at these guys.
Pufferfish.
Oh, that's actually one fish I would love to try in the reef at some point. I've heard people being successful with them, but
Mixed reviews. But I will feed if you'd like.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Probably.
There we go. Look at these guys.
They look pufferfish.
I know.
I'll see
They
one
snake
for you later too.
This is also put.
Oh, that's why you want to see a puffer fish. You love the puffer fish. Yeah, at some point when I'm ready to just take down my reef tank, I'm just gonna drop a puffer in there.
I'm convinced. I've only had him for a week and a half.
Yeah.
I'm convinced since we've had him, he's grown.
The seahorses. Look at these. Oh, by Cutterblini. I used to love these guys, but they stopped picking up my clams. So cool.
I did feed them yesterday. Let's see what happens.
Were they recently hatched or?
No. They came in roughly this size.
Okay.
I started out with 3. I sold 1, and we had a blue spotted stingray. Wow.
Look at that.
There you go, buddy.
Dude, that is so awesome.
No. Okay, too big. Let's see if we can get you a smaller one.
Are these the banded cat shark?
Yes, bamboo sharks, exactly.
Bamboo shark.
Oh, there, okay, so there's one. And there's another one. Let's see if we can get this guy to eat. No? All right, these little sharks. We'll leave them in there and we'll see what happens.
Awesome. Horse idols.
Yeah.
Oh, they're eating pellets?
Yeah.
Do you have like long-term success with these fish?
I mean, to be perfectly honest with them, when customers see them eating, we sell them pretty fast. But customers that have had them in their care or when they purchase them, they've been pretty successful.
That's cool. Because I know for the longest time, these are one of those like impossible fish.
Yeah, they're tough. They're certainly not easy. We get our copper bands in here.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, let me see if we get some frozen food in here as well. They know the good stuff. They would prefer the frozen, but I have to have them.
Oh, that is awesome. This is one of my dream fish too. A pair of these in a large tank would be amazing. For your copper band, have you ever had success getting copper bands onto like pellets and flakes? That's the ultimate.
I mean, anecdotally, probably I would say definitely a smaller percentage. 15,
so it's possible.
15-20%, I would say.
Yeah.
But the most successful copper bands that we've had by far are from Australia. I don't know if it's the collection methods or the waters that they're coming from or their acclimation that they put them through. We just find the success rate for them. They are a little more expensive, but successfully, they eat right away.
Totally worth it if they're successful, right?
Oh, absolutely.
SPS, LPS, softies for the most part. Look at these. These stood out. Maybe it's because like these are a little bit higher up, but these display tanks stood out.
For him, no, exactly.
Oh, for me too, because I'm kind of short, I guess. Nice gorgonians, nice carpets.
So these fish are all captive bred. They're all locally captive bred.
These are beautiful clownfish. Nice patterns.
Why is it nice pattern?
Yeah, follow me. Let's look over here. Softies.
Fire shrimp.
Yes.
Oh, these are nice. I have a soft spot for softies.
So you had messaged Mark, the previous owner of the store. So this is the piece that you're interested in. There's several of them.
Yeah.
Here, and there's, let's see, there's a larger chunk over here. There's some here.
Yep. Yeah, these are absolutely beautiful.
It's beautiful under blue light. Beautiful, beautiful.
Yep, I got my piece under the mangrove tank, which is more heavier blue now. It absolutely glows.
Sweet starfish here from Australia. You'll see those
Ooh,
there.
these are nice.
So those are pretty cool. Neglectus mushrooms from the Caribbean.
Nice softies. There's so many different colors and textures and simple to raise and easy to frag. Not kind of pain to kind of attach to like plugs, but besides that, I absolutely love softies.
Well, over time, some people, what we've done is when we've cut pieces, we'll ask them to use like fishing wires and twine, or even elastic to wrap it around a rock. Let the leather grow, and after that, we just trim it, cut it off.
All right, Leon's dragging me back. What's here? That's a zebra eel, I think, right?
Yeah, zebra moray.
Now we're here at the LPS section. Oh, this is nice. Look at all they're not called 8-can Lord anymore, but all
They're old school people still call
I'm still calling it. Oh, look at there's a whole little city down here. Look at this.
There's everything down.
I know. What is he getting in? Pectinias? Oh, look at all these.
So these are some nice leathers that came in from Australia not too long ago. This, everybody asks about this piece.
Oh, I didn't even see that. I was looking at that. Is that the limelight or?
Yeah.
What is that?
So that, I would consider that a Godzilla mushroom. There's so many different names, and when you get to know me, I really, unless I know the true lineage of something, I am not gonna assign a made-up name and jack up the price on it. It's just, it is what it is. I've been babysitting for a customer for a while now. His house has gone through some renovations, but every time a customer, a mushroom guy comes in or a mushroom girl comes in, they always ask about that.
I see that you have some LPS, but it's not, I guess like it's not quite open. It's not
Yeah,
the right time.
I cut off the flow earlier just to do some feeding, and they just retracted, and I guess they're eating some food at the moment.
Is this your anemone tank?
Yeah, some bubble tips, some long tips are in there.
But these are kind of cool. Like
tube anemones? Yeah, there's some tube anemones in there.
I see a triton tucked away down here.
Yeah, there's a trident in there.
All right. All right, here is the SPS section for the most part, right?
Yeah, we're pretty low on SPS. We don't keep that many SPS in stock, but we should be getting some more in the next couple of weeks.
There's some nice fish in here too.
Yeah, there is a beautiful Regal Angel in here that a customer brought in ages ago, that they purchased, and it started out small. It's outgrown its tank, and the customer's changing things up. But if you have a chance to find it, it's got perfect symmetry. It's a red sealant. It's beautiful.
It's in this tank right here?
It's in this tank right here. You know what? I'll put it in some food. I'll put it in some pellet food, and they'll be.
Oh, look at that!
It is a beautiful, beautiful specimen. Wow.
No problem with it nipping corals?
Knock on wood, no. So the SPS we haven't had any issues with. I put a couple of LPS in here to see if they would, nip and nothing so
no
far.
problem. No, it's growing. See, this tiny little no. It's like Nemo, right?
There
tiny
is
little
one
fin.
board in here. There's one last. I've had the board for months. Customer's going to come pick it up. It might
Is it this guy right here?
Yeah, right there.
It's interesting. I see that you use a lot of mandarins for, I guess, pest control,
I
or?
would say, no, I find mandarins for us anyway. I like putting them in our coral systems. They are obviously definitely more difficult to catch for our customers.
Yeah.
But I find mandarins do much better in our coral vats, or an area where they've got access to lots of pods.
That makes
lots of
sense.
feed. But over time, because we're feeding our fish, over time we do get them to eat frozen food.
Oh, that's awesome.
And when we do get them to feed, we'll show our customers. The customers like, look, I saw that one eat.
Yeah,
that one.
that's
So we
awesome.
grab one.
So most of these are still wild caught, or the mandarins?
The mandarins, yes. We just find the captive bred ones. There's absolutely nothing wrong with captive bred. The philosophy behind it, but we find they ship very, very tiny.
Yes.
And I honestly think they don't ship that well either, in my own opinion.
Oh, look who's here.
I forget my hands.
Baby, look at the sharp shrimp.
Yeah, look at all these shrimps.
What is it?
Look who's here. What's your favorite fish right now?
It's hard to pin it down, but I think I've got two actually.
All right.
One of my favorite fish right now are these Pintail Wrasse.
Oh, yeah,
they're
nice.
just fantastic. The colors, they're hardy. I find they're hardy anyway. They've acclimated well. They're active. They add so much color to our tank. And they're great. The distinct isosceles tail on them is fantastic. And this Regal Angel is fantastic.
Oh, we've been looking at this for a while.
Yeah, so we've had him for months now. I think it's going to end up going into a client's 400 or 450 gallon tank. But yeah, those are my two. And I mean, I know other people will say, oh, you got a powder blue tang there, or there's a Borbonius anthias. I've got one last Borbonius anthias in that right there actually, and that's being held for somebody at the moment.
What's your favorite coral at the moment?
I've always been an LPS kind of guy, so I know people like their sticks and stuff like that. Truthfully, that's really not one of my strengths, but we bring them in for customers and stuff like that. The A-cans, the selection of A-cans, like some of these A-cans are great, but honestly, that mushroom that I'm babysitting for a customer at the moment, that's definitely one of my favorites.
Can you tell us a little bit about the history of your store?
The store, if memory serves, it's been a while. The store started out in 2011. I am not the first person to run the store. Mark and Sean were partners. They opened the store. And after a few years, I think both of them kind of said, what, we're kind of bored of it. Mark had approached me to see if I was interested, and I was like, can't afford it, can't whatever. And he was like, he said, hear me out. He writes this amount on a piece of paper, and then slides it over to me, and I look at it, and I was kind of confused. I'm like, assets? Is this for assets or for Google? I don't quite understand. He goes, no, this is what I want for the store, and I was even more confused.
So it sounds like it's a good deal.
Yeah, no, I was even more confused on like liabilities, and he's like, none. And I got to know him. He got to know me better over the years, actually. And I think it was important for him, truthfully, that whoever he sold it to or whoever he passed the baton to was important for him not to take the store and hack it to pieces or part with it. I think we've built on the reputation of it, so I'm quite happy. You're going to find in the GTA there's going to be a lot of specialties. Everyone's got their own niche. I think like I said, I think a lot of it's relationship building, and I like to think in terms of the quality of our fish, the quality of some of our corals are fantastic, and obviously I'm biased, but to my detriment, as I was saying earlier, to the store's detriment, sometimes I'm like, yeah, you don't want to buy that. It's not eating, or you don't want to buy this because, you know, it'll munch your corals. We collectively kind of say no to people more than we often say yes to people in terms of, we're not trying to necessarily completely convince them out of purchasing something, but we will definitely tell them up front, you know, some of the pros and cons.
And that's how you win customers.
I like to think so.
Friends.
I like to think so, yeah.
So let's say, a real quick example, if somebody completely new to reefing walked into your store, but this is totally unscripted.
Sure, yeah.
If they walk into the store, it's like, hey, I want to start a reef tank today.
Yeah.
What would you recommend them to set up with? Like what size tank, what kind of fish and corals to start with?
Well, it really depends on, you know, the resources in terms of space, their space constraints. You know, so obviously sometimes there are money constraints or financial constraints.
Let's just say average.
But I like to think, you know, a nice starter per se, if they've got the space, maybe something like 30, 40 gallons. Like a 40-gallon breeder is quite nice. If they've got the space, ideally to have it with a sump, but I know, you know, some people with space constraints, you know, and all-in-one works out too. I've had several new people come in where they've set it up themselves, where, you know, they have a canister filter hang on the back of the filter, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as you're patient. But, you know, things like that are easy to set up and, you know, long-term harder to maintain. If you have an all-in-one or if you have a sump, you know, you have options. And especially at a 40-gallon, 30, 40-gallon tank, you have options in terms of the size of coral and maybe even the types and variety of fish. Now, again, if you want like a nano or a pico that's 10 gallons or 15 gallons, absolutely nothing wrong with that, because there is a trend, obviously, for space constraints and condos and things like that. But with that, you know, easier to set up, again, a little harder to maintain. You got to be more diligent with, you know, either your water changes or your water chemistry. You know, things can go sideways. In a larger system, for obvious reasons, we have time to react.
If people want to learn a little bit more about your store, if they're in the area, what's the best way to find you guys?
To be perfectly honest, our website isn't the greatest. That's always been a work in process, but that'll change. Our social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, you'll definitely find out what we're about. Scroll through some of the past histories, scroll through some of the past posts. We're fairly active. One of my weakest strengths is, you know, for lack of better words, paperwork. It's just a menagerie of stuff, but I do try to post every once in a while and to try to interact with people.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, Brad.
No, you're welcome.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much for coming in. It meant a lot that you guys kind of went out of your way, and I absolutely did not know. Like I said, I'm not tech savvy. I'm not necessarily internet savvy, but for you to come and, you know, visit this as your first Canadian store, I'm very happy that you did.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.